Hello homeowners, Brian Schwatka here, realtor and creator of the Stay or Go homeowner system. And today's puzzle piece is about how to hold title correctly to your home so that, God forbid, if an owner or a co-owner passes away, the property will get what's called a step up in basis. And I want to make sure you're getting a full step up in basis and not just a partial step up in basis. So you might be wondering why a realtor is always discussing taxes and financial planning and estate planning and whatnot. And this is a disclaimer. I am not a CPA, a financial planner, or an estate planner. I'm a realtor, but I've taken the Stay or Go homeowner class enough times to know how important all these puzzle pieces are and how they fit together. And this is the biggest financial decision you'll probably ever make in your life, whether you stay in your home or sell it and move to a new home. So I want to help you whether you're staying or whether you're going. This is the kind of stuff we learn in class. And this puzzle piece right here, this piece of information I'm about to give you is the most important piece I could possibly share with you. So let's get started. From the last time we talked about how we don't like capital gains. Now, we do like the gain, we just don't like paying the tax on the gain. And what we learned was we want to increase our basis by using exemptions and deductions. So, because the higher the basis, the less the gain, the less taxes we're going to pay. Now, something happens when, God forbid, a homeowner passes away. The property gets what's called a step up in basis. And what that means is, on the day the person passes, whatever the property was worth, say $1 million, that's the new basis, not what I paid for $100,000. It's now, it looks like I paid $1 million. So if the other owner, their surviving co-owner, or the heirs want to sell the property that day, it looks like they bought it for $1 million and they're selling it for $1 million and they're not going to pay any taxes. But the caveat there is you need to be holding title correctly for all that to happen, or you're only going to get a partial step up in basis. So let's talk about the best ways of holding title so you get the biggest bang for your buck. The first way of holding title is just as a sole individual. I'm a single person, I own the property, and will I get a step up in basis upon my death? The property, yes, the property raises to the fair market value. If my heirs want to sell that property, they'll pay no taxes. Now, the next one is avoiding probate, because we have to avoid probate, and we'll talk about this in future sessions, about what probate is, how costly it is, how time-consuming it is, how public it is, and it's just not something you want to go through. So if I don't have a trust, I'm going to probate. If I do have a trust, I'm not going to probate, okay? So I don't know whether you do or whether you don't. Next way of holding title is tenants in common. That means it's a percentage, like I own 70% of the home and my co-owner owns 30% or 60-40%. When the co-owner passes away, do I get a step up in basis? Not a full step up. I'm only going to get a step up based on the percentage of ownership from the deceased co-owner. And does it avoid probate? No, I'm going to probate whether I've got a will or I've got a trust. It's not the best way of holding title. Next way of holding title is joint tenancy, which is what a lot of married couples did before there was other ways of holding title. They held it as joint tenancy, 50-50. Okay, did they get a step up in basis? Yes, they do, but they only get 50% because you own it 50-50. So you get only a half step up in basis, but it does avoid probate. The property transfers immediately to me when my co-owner passes away. Next way of holding title, people think I live in California, I'm married, I'm going to hold title as community property. Well, do you get the full step up? Yes. Full step up in basis. Does it avoid probate? I'm not sure. It's a maybe. You're going to have to check with your estate planner. I'm not sure, because if you're going to hold title as community property, what you really want to do is you want to hold title as community property with rights of survivorship. This way of holding title only came about in the last 20 years. Do you get a full step up in basis? Yes. Do you avoid probate? Yes. The property automatically transfers to the other owner. Now, the best way of holding title is actually the trustee of a trust. Okay? Will you get a step up in basis? Full step up in basis. Will you avoid probate? Yes. Here's the caveat. In your trust, you need to have what's called a community property agreement as part of your trust, because you might have a trust and you might be holding title as joint tenancy. So if you do have a trust and you're married, you either need to be holding title as community property with rights of survivorship, or your trust has to have a community property agreement. Check with your trust or check with your estate planner. So in recap, if you're single, you've got to have a trust or you're going to probate. If you're married and you don't have a trust, you need to be holding title as community property with rights of survivorship. And if you do have a trust, I'd like you to hold title as community property with rights of survivorship, or within the trust have a community property agreement as part of that trust. Okay, so if you need help and you want to know how you're holding title, I can help you with that. I can check the county records. Send me a message. I'll tell you how you're holding title. If you don't want to do that, you can check with your estate planner, or you can check with your trust to see how you're holding title and if you've got that community property agreement as part of that trust. More puzzle pieces coming. What to do when a co-owner passes. Probate. What is it? How to avoid it? How to navigate it if you have to go through it? The importance of having a trust. Transferring your property taxes, your current low property taxes, to your next home. Great, right? Investment properties, should you sell them or should you rent them out? Pros and cons of that. So thanks for learning. Thanks for being with me. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or requests, you can get a hold of me at stayorgohomeowner.com. Until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.